Everybody, drop your buffs. We are switching tribes.
Hello, everyone. My name is JoMaH. Drop your buffs. Welcome to Swap Screwed. There we go. Hey guys. So if you didn't, I saw some people in the chat, so thank you for watching it. But my live cast assessment, not cast assessment, cast reveal just came out for my season, The Frontier, and in honor, or I guess sort of the piggyback off Chris's idea with his interview with Lyoko, I sort of reached out to ChillinCool, and he was like, "Sure." So this Swap Screwed episode is going to be sort of a interview with ChillinCool and myself, where he's going to ask a bunch of questions, such as how did I get these people to my possible winner picks, and overall just how the season went post production wise. So I think with that out of the way. What do you mean? Rainey's asking, where is it? My cast reveal, it's on public, right? Okay, give me a second. Yeah, it's public. Okay, that's weird. Also, as people funnel into the chat, I think after ChillinCool knocks out his questions, I'll go to the chat for comments. But I know we like doing some tomfoolery, but if you're on production or if you're on the season, don't say anything instigating to a leak or a fake leak. I want to answer ChillinCool's questions. I don't want to like balance both watching chat and responding to questions. So with that, I think we can go to the interview now. So let's just see if this works. Sweet. Oh my god, we forgot to put a give me a second. I'll put a pressure plate there for a thing. And actually no, we need some lighting. Let's do a campfire. Oh, hold up. I need to unmute you. Talk real quick, Chill.
Ew.
There we go. Sweet. It's working. So, anything else I think we need for the set?
I just we need shader and that's it.
Oh yeah, I have shaders. I definitely have shaders. Resource packs? Where are my shaders? Oh, I have not used shaders in a minute. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Okay. And
Yeah, I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I wanted it to be at sunset for this. So
nice. On my channel, and yep, thank you, Wyatt. I do want this to show up that way people can sort of tell who's talking, especially if I, for some reason, let Lewis or Wyatt answer questions. They're chilling in the VC right now. What is Rainy asking? The timestamp? No, the timestamp is what? What is the? Okay, no, I'm ignoring Rainy. Okay,
let's
with
get
that out
started.
of the way, welcome, ChillinCool. Thank you for agreeing to doing this. I know this is very impromptu, very last minute. So
Yeah, no kidding. This is a school day for me.
oh yeah, I forgot. I'm on spring break, so you
What, you
just
son
saw.
of a...
Yep, I know. So but yeah, thank you very much for agreeing to this. It took a little impromptu planning, but I'm glad we could make it work out. So I guess the first thing is, at first I was going to give you some time to, I guess, decompress and watch the cast reveal, but you kind of just sort of just finished watching it. So if you don't mind, before you start asking me questions, I want to ask you a question. And what do you think of it?
I think this is a fairly decent cast. It's filled with a bunch of newbies, a bunch of people that like I didn't recognize. Like there were a lot of people who I didn't know anything about. Like Fenora, Kane, Matt, Mia, and Wunmi. I didn't know who any of them were.
Yeah,
And
it was definitely
and
fun
I'm
listening.
glad I'm glad that you decided to pick people who weren't in any recordings. I mean, Skies and Shiba's, which is currently on hiatus, but I do trust Shiba to finish it.
Yeah. When we were doing the casting for that, the main, I guess, theme I wanted to do was try to get 16 people who, as of the date of filming, which was like November, um, have never been in recorded before. And some of them, of course, got canceled, but as of that date, there was no footage of any of them in recorded. So I think the theme and the sort of held up, and Skyfire is the only person who appeared in something before we could announce the cast and theme. I know some others are
Okay.
in some recordeds, but those have not
Yeah.
come out yet.
Right. And by the way, I think it might be a little early to ask this, but how will season 2 work? Like, what do you think you're going to be doing for season 2? Because like
Um,
you put apps for both those seasons out at the same time.
yeah, I definitely want to do a season 2. I was a little ambitious, and I actually wanted to film season 2 this week because I had spring break. But looking at my schedule, I feel like sort of near the end of May, once school has died down for me and I've done some art projects, once those finish and once my like AP classes finish, I think then might be a good time to host a second season. I don't want to give too much insight to season 2, as I want to focus on season 1 right now, both with post
Yeah. Okay.
production and sort of that hype. But season 2,
Yeah.
what I will
Yeah.
say, we're gonna take a different direction in it.
Okay. I'll be making a wiki. I will be making a wiki, and there will be a link. There will be a link. And I believe Light's a pretty good at. I believe Light and FD will really go to town on this wiki.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. So yeah, with that, you can sort of start asking away. Um and yeah. We will drag people in after ChillinCool sort of knocks out his questions, because I know
All
you
right.
have a bunch on your mind.
Okay, so like before I figured out Mia yesterday, there were 5 people I didn't recognize. Where'd you meet them? The people I'm talking about are Fenora, Kane, Matt, Mia, and Wunmi. Like, where did you meet them? Where did you get them onto the season?
All good. So a bunch of them are, almost all of them are IRL people that I have met just throughout high school. So I guess I'll start in the order that the cast reveal showed them. Kane is in my film class. He's one of my classmates that goes to my high school. And I sort of reached out to him because I knew over COVID we did sort of like a Minecraft like Let's Play. We never uploaded it, sadly. I was really bad with editing back then. But I sort of reached out to him, and because I was sort of a little bit desperate, because I was very ambitious for this theme. I wanted to get a theme of first time recorded players. So I knew I would have to do a lot of scouting. So Kane's someone that I reached out to, and I said, "Hey, just 5 minutes to fill it out, and then I can do an interview, and then I could probably put you on the cast." And he said that sure, he'd be down for it, and yeah, and that pretty much goes with Woomy too. Woomy is also a classmate of mine in my film class, and I pretty much did the same thing to her. Of if you fill this out, I can do an interview with you, and like almost certainly put you on the cast because I didn't really have a bunch of backups because oh my god, excuse me, it was very difficult to get the theme. It was very much heavy scouting.
I guess it paid off then.
It definitely paid off. Matt and Fanola are both people I've met throughout theater. Theater used to be a big part of my life. I'm now sort of getting away from it, but I still am good friends with them. Fanola actually goes to my high school too, which is really nice. So I'm looking at the chat. I'll ping for it. Sure. Metal's asking why. So
I know.
anyways, what I will say, Fanola and Matt are both people who I was close with and sort of threw this idea out to them too, like, hey, if you want to do it, you can fill it out and I can get you an interview. And I know both of those would be sort of good for the camera with their theater experience. And then finally, Mia. Mia is someone who, funny enough, we were getting really close to the filming date, and we had some drops, and the alternates we sort of realized didn't really apply with the theme or just wouldn't be sort of good handling day of and would add a bunch of stress to me.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I will.
I've heard rumors that Mia is Wyatt's girlfriend. Okay, shoot, I
Um
should not bring confidentiality with that.
no, all good. So Mia we met through Wyatt. And what I will say is
I mean,
they're
they're just rumors,
friends.
so
Yeah, and they're just rumors. But what I will say is that we met Mia through Wyatt,
yeah.
and
Sorry, Wyatt.
we were already good friends with her outside of it because we met her like months ago. So FD, and I guess thank you to FD for getting this last pick. And this is the one thing where FD came clutch in. He sort of messaged Mia and sort of told her what we were doing, and then sort of I guess the night before the season filming, I sort of sat in the call with Mia and said and gave her the interview questions for this video, and then we were like sweet, and we got her on the season. Everyone else I think applied on their own and has been somewhat in the community.
Okay, my computer just turned black. My computer just went black. Sorry. Um.
Oh, good.
Also, so is Mia the only person who didn't apply,
Well,
or at least those five?
yes.
Those five. Those five.
So
Those five.
I think everyone on the cast I made fill out the application and had an interview with them. I think Mia is the only person who um didn't do the application, and then maybe Matt did it after the deadline, but it was sort of a thing where I could just slide him into the interview phase and just schedule him on a later date to where wasn't a big issue to me. It wasn't a big issue to be sort of production like formal heavy. This is how it should be done. I cared more about getting the season and the cast that I wanted to I
Right.
guess provide.
All right. Also, how worried about your IRL friends pre gaming? And follow up, how worried are you about White and Mia pre gaming?
Oh, that's something I think with casting that we definitely took into consideration. Um we sort of wanted to put them sort of in between. So, for example, the four people, my four IRLs, I obviously wouldn't put them all in the same tribe because I don't want them to pregame. I want
So
them to
is it
go
2 for
branch
2?
out
So is it 2
and
for
meet
2?
people. I think so, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to sort of put it where everyone pretty much knew someone for the most part, to where that one person would be like enough to sort of branch out and be social. Because I didn't want to allow them to pregame, but at the same time, I don't want them to get pregamed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, metagamed.
Because a bunch of these people are new. Some of them, their first, Minecraft game show. So I wanted to make sure they would be comfortable enough to share about them, and sort of once the strategy talk goes, they're going to be comfortable enough, talking with people and playing the game. So I think with my IRLs, um, I'm pretty sure it's 2-2. It might be 3-1 because of
Like, I'm
Mia
consider I'm
and
consider
Wyatt, but
I'm
I'm pretty
considering the
sure
yeah, I'm considering
we
it's
we
3-1.
yeah, we split up. We split up. We looked at our cast and the connections each of them could possibly have, and when it came to tribe divisions, we cared more about we cared about the tribe themes, but we mostly cared about um pre-existing connections. Not, and we wanted to make sure everyone wasn't isolated, but at the same time, not you didn't know everybody already. So yeah.
Okay. Also, is there a themed tribe division? If you can answer that.
Yeah. So the themes were pretty broad because we cared more about um possible pre-gaming and the season theme, like new players as a whole. But for Pinders, for not
Binders,
Pinders,
founders and
uh
pioneers.
yeah, founders and pioneers. Pioneers, we sort of said, would people who are more willing to explore and try new things. Their job and or how they got their occupation may be like a different approach, maybe like going out and like winging it and not having a bunch of experience prior. They could also be someone who, personality wise, is very extroverted, is very open to meeting new people, and just
Oh,
overall
not what
some
I was expecting.
someone who is more willing to explore. And then
Okay.
founders, we sort of took the opposite approach. They might be either more calm, more reserved. Their occupation could be more traditional, or how they got their occupation could be something where like it runs in the family. And then it also could symbolize sort of the community. We put some people who have been in the community for a little longer on the founders tribe.
Yeah, so
Obviously, when you
I take it we'll see at least I'll take it I'll be seeing at least two of those three super fans on that tribe.
yeah, so obviously you're gonna look at the tribes and maybe think that someone on paper is better on the other tribe, but so
Yeah,
like
no,
if
you want to play
someone,
pre-games.
yeah, we cared more about the pre-gaming issue, and these sort of two umbrella terms allowed us to sort of put the tribes however we want, and sort of categorize them. Because, for example, for founders, we may be looking at your job instead of your personality, and for pioneers, we may be looking at your job instead of your personality. Things like that.
Uh, okay, that means that one of my that means that I can't ask one of my questions. A question I could have asked was, "What made you choose a choice that surprised me to be a frontier pioneer?" But I guess that I can't. I guess you can't answer that. So,
Oh
anyway,
yeah,
who's
it pretty
who?
pretty much just what 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 I will say is that during the interview, the questions I asked sort of helped guide what tribe I'm gonna put them on, because I didn't want to swap. I wanted to swap as few people as possible. So,
Okay.
the questions that sort of I asked were about sort of how willing you are to try new things and visit new people, and I guess your previous history with your job, and like your personality. Those were the main questions that sort of told us if you were going to be a founder or a pioneer.
Okay. So a good chunk of these guys had played in FIO season before. Going into the season, did you see any untapped potential while watching FIO seasons that you didn't see and that no one else saw? Like, take Chip for example. Like, all I know Chip from is as the runner-up of Minecraft Survivor Logic Edition, as FIO describes it, his 10th season.
Um, that's a good question. Um, what's funny enough is at the time where my interviews were happening, Theo sort of made an announcement that due to like multiple reasons, he would be postponing his recorded and I guess canceling it in a way. He still intends to do his recorded, just not now. But at the time, FD was on my production and helped me a lot with the first phase of casting with questions and the form. So a good chunk of it, because FD did help Theo with his season. He some people who played in Theo's and applied in Theo's, FD sort of went to them and said, "Hey, listen, this recorder got canceled. However, Joe's trying to host one, and you'd be perfect for the theme. If you wanted to give it a shot, here's the application." So, going into that, I don't know their games a lot, but the interviews sort of allowed me to sort of understand how they would play. So, I think, I think yes, though, because in the unrecorded environment, you don't really care a lot your tribe themes and tribe divisions, and sometimes it can screw over people, especially those who may be newer to the community. So I think by allowing everyone to, I think in this recorded scene, us picking the tribes carefully and sort of allowing these new players to play together, I think it's going to allow some people who maybe on paper won't do so well to maybe shine in the camera.
Right. Are you proud of how are you proud of how the newbies did this season?
Um, well, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil my season.
Yeah, no, good.
But I think on paper a lot of people would think that oh, the people who've been in the community would steamroll more. A funny fun fact is when we were first casting and we didn't get a lot of people who applied to the theme. Echo and Pebbit both applied, and we were maybe thinking of putting them as tribe captains. We eventually decided off the idea because all my production was like Echo or Peppet are going to steamroll this cast, and it's not going to be fair.
I mean, you
So
could have done the Island of the Isles thing, but okay.
yeah, but we wanted to make them players, which so it would have been a little awkward. So what I will say is that I think the season has a lot of entertainment value, and I think it will defy your expectations.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Who, if any, who, if anyone, who is still active in this community, will you never, ever, ever, ever cast? Like, if you don't want to name names, I understand, but
No, I get
if you
it.
want to,
It's a little weird because I know, especially with some seasons, like dealing with people and casting people, day of can be annoying to deal with, and then after can be a little problematic, such as like dealing with leaks or like they get in some altercations where you really can't show them in a good light on the season anymore. To me, I I believe more in their character, and I believe in sort of the thing of people can get second chances, people can change. But what I will say is that I'll take into account their current image um, on application on the day, and answer without saying names. I don't really know who I wouldn't cast to think of. Um,
I mean,
honestly,
there's gotta be some lines. There's gotta be some
yeah,
lines.
I don't want to like be bitter and like not cast people who had personally crossed me or like I'm not on good terms with because I feel like that's petty. But at the same time, probably those people who I don't have great connections with because if the season goes south or if something goes bad, if I think they're gonna like leak the season or make production a nightmare, I'm probably not gonna cast them. It's also maybe with like my unrecorded. I had some walks there, and it's nothing against them because stuff happens.
I
But
mean,
like,
Loops isn't in the community anymore, so
yeah, but like here, for example, I don't think he applied to the theme, but I didn't want to. I sort of backed off from casting Hero because like he walked in my first season. I don't want him walking again. So I don't know who I wouldn't cast because it's a little ironic because I know I'm heavily associated with some people who are possibly viewed as the people you shouldn't cast. But to me, I believe people can change. I believe people can sort of know when it's right to fuck around and know. Oh, sorry. And know when it's bad to screw around. The people I wouldn't cast, I would say, are the people who have crossed me in the past and have beefed with me before, to where I know they would use this not as a chance to be unrecorded, but a chance to fuck with me and like leak my cast, for example.
Okay.
So I'll say Daffodil, for example, because I know that's like a
Yeah, no,
guaranteed one I probably would not cast
oh
just
yeah, no, oh
because,
yeah, no kidding. It's Daffodil.
yeah, like I used to be like good friends with her, but just stuff happened and it sucks. But looking on it now, if I got an app from Daffodil, I would be hesitant because of the past I've had with her.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
next
I'm
question.
not like, to be honest, I'm not one to believe in change. I don't believe in change that much.
No, all good.
Um,
Different
all right,
experiences.
all right. Okay. Who are some people who didn't make it that you would have loved to see you on?
Oh my god, this is such a good question.
Because I believe
Um,
Russell is one of those people. Russell.
yes, Russell. Oh my gosh, when I thought of this theme, I thought of Russell, and he was on like the first version of the cast, but he was in a theater show and had rehearsal the weekend. And
Oof.
I
Oh.
was I was talking to him and I was like, "Listen, man, I could say this is for like an art project because that's how I got some people on." And I told him like, if you wanted to, I could say I need you for like filming or something, and you could play in the season. And he eventually decided not to, and it's good for him. It's matured. But Russell's one of the more people I was wanted to see play because I not only brought him into the community, but the last game show I played with him, which was Llama's Blood versus Water.
You
Looking
won
back
that
on
one,
it,
right?
yeah, I won that one, and it was a little frustrating sometimes with Russell because he wouldn't agree with me. And it's not because my ideas were wrong; it's because my ideas would benefit me mostly. And when looking back on it, when I saw Russell sort of challenge me in those ideals, I saw him sort of mature into a like good, solid survivor player to where, yes, I'm like his blood, like, and we're a duo, but he cared about winning and he cared about, saving the people that he would beat in the end. And I'm glad that, me and him sort of put aside that and said, listen, we want to go to the end no matter what. But I knew Russell could play by himself. If he was on the season, I have strong faith that he would be able to talk to people and strategize comfortably. Another person, I think two other people who you might recognize from the community is Tommy, like the
Tomster?
melon. Yeah, the melon guy. He played in NKS this season. FD got him to apply for the theme, and just overall his application and interview was like
Oh,
really good.
Tommy. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
So he is someone who was on the first version of the cast, but couldn't play day of, and I think now is in Andrew's Big Brother or something, or like he got into some recorded that like later got announced. So we kind of dodged a bullet there, but I think Tommy was someone that
No,
would be cool.
I think he is hosting a record right now for
Oh,
Big Brother.
that's sweet. TJ Doggy Style, if we had better communication with him and could get him to send an app, I think would be cool. But he no longer applies to the theme. And
Wait,
Xfin.
wait,
Xfin was someone who applied. He was on the first version of the cast a week before it had to drop because his like miscommunication with his parents and the conflict, and that sucked because I've seen Xfin sort of get like the short and the second unrecorded just because of how some people treat him and because of him being a newer person. So it
yeah.
would have
Also,
been
he's
cool.
not the community. He's not the community anymore. So
Yeah,
that's
it
okay.
sucks, but it would have been cool to see him sort of have a second chance with this game show. So those are four people who I think if I could go back in time and pull some strings, would definitely want to have in contention of the cast.
Um. Okay. Um, do you think the cast? Okay. I know this is a little bit much, but do you think the cast reveal will take longer to edit than most of your episodes? Do you think cast reveal took
Um,
longer than most of your episodes?
well, I'm not really good when it comes to editing on time and promises, but um, hmm. I think what sucked for the editing of the cast reveal is I had to take like 45-minute interviews and splice them into the clips that were good enough to put in the cast reveal. And then on top of that, I had to get like 5 minutes worth of it or like 3.5 minutes because that's how I like timed each person to like 3.5 minutes. So I think, no, I don't think it'll take longer because I'm not going to have to like forcefully film replay shots. I have replay mod. I have the shots. I have recordings. I have confessionals. So I won't have to dig for stuff. The stuff will appear on its own. So I don't think it will take as long. I think it will just be a matter of how much I care about the story. And if I really want some story part highlighted, then it might take a little longer to get a body shot or body acting or something like that. But I think I should be able to um, produce these episodes somewhat quickly, but no promises. Don't quote me on that.
All right. All right. This one's quick. Will we see the Castaways' IGN during the season?
um,
Like IGN.
yes, yeah. I'm gonna be using a lot of replay mod for some of the cinematic shots, but I think like for talk time or for confessionals, you may see their IGNs.
And are the IGNs colored according to tribes?
Yes, they are. So I'm not a big issue on that. If I
I
notice
mean, this
that
is
if
my thing.
yeah, yeah, if I don't think it will be too much of an issue, but yeah, if I'm able to use a like production camera shot and it looks nice, then I'm gonna use it. Cause luckily, like for replay mod, I'm not using shaders or something. So the difference between replay shots and like POV shots from like spec production members shouldn't be too different. So it should blend all together nicely.
Right. Did you have a preseason winner pick? If so, who and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, my production, I think when the first like version of the cast came out, we made our drafts. I think I was thinking like a pie or spotters would be my winner pick because I played with them in unrecordeds. Like pie, I have like had to like battle him out in like Final Four so many times. Spotters won my unrecorded that I hosted, the Mushroom Forest. So I think I picked those two not only because like they've have the experience, but I know their playstyle and I know how they will attempt to navigate to the finale. And yeah, I would say either Pie or Spotters because I know their games very well and I just know how they will play. And looking on their cast, I'm not saying the people who have more experience are going to thrive, but like I know their play style and I feel very confident. I would feel very confident in rooting for them as like winner picks, for example.
Okay. Um. Okay. I know this might be a little bit much, but how do you feel about being shot up by Chris?
Oh my god, that like made my day. Like Christmas morning, like over again. Like I'd firstborn child, no. Elite Chris shout out, yes.
Okay,
I'm
that's
kidding.
pretty much that's
I'm kidding.
yeah.
That's a little sarcastic. In all seriousness, it's nice though to get a shout out because I looked up to him when I first joined the community and when I was first trying to plan my recorded out, I was like looking up to him. So, especially because we're sort of on other sides and like opposite sides of this community, to sort of get that shout out and to sort of build that connection with him, even if we don't talk and even though we may not be like on like the same side of the community, it's still nice to sort of have that respect of like host to host, like, hey, your stuff is good, go shout it out. And like because of that, I sort of return the favor at the end of my castle reel saying, like, oh, go check out Hokkaido. It's like based off the preview shots alone, seems to be a pretty intense season. So just it's nice to be able to build that connection and build that respect with him, despite sort of what um rumors may be told about me or him from each other. So it's nice to sort of it's nice. I'll put it like that. It's nice getting a shout
Right.
out.
Right. Okay. Okay. This is gonna take a bit. How did you get yours on the season, by the way?
Oh, um, I also had Dell and Lewis on production, and I would say they were some of the more active production members. So while we were building the season, and I sort of told him about this theme. So like Lewis, for example, I said like, "Oh, Lewis, you literally cannot play in season one. You do not apply to the theme." So he was like, "Fine, I'll be in production." When I told him about the theme, he was like, "Oh, I could get Yortis," and I was like, "Yes, please get Yortis. We need to sort of make people apply." So Lewis got Yortis on because they're siblings, and that's how we got
Yeah. No.
Yortis. And when because I haven't told this yet, but for my recorded, I did like say, "Oh, cash prize $50." Yortis was pretty hyped to play, and it was very cool seeing him not only play but be like thrilled to play and have a good time.
All right. Um. So like, the only undercard I've seen Wishbeat play, he walked. What do you see in him?
And Yortis,
No,
I
Wishbeat.
guess, oh,
No,
Wishmute,
Wishbeat.
um, Wishmute, I first met through just my streaming Survivor. I saw a little bit, I guess, of him and me, sort of on the fact of he's new in the community. He sort of wants to, I guess, build a name for himself. Um, Besides the obvious, like I saw that he applied to the theme. I saw sort of a quiet, more calm, self-spoken uh player game wise, but you know, just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're not going to be impactful. And you know, every person I casted, and I guess without spoiling and not sort of diving into cast assessment, the one thing that I mattered most to casting was I casted every single person with if they won, I would be okay with it. So I saw Wishmute as a in the event that he won, a good winner and overall just a good person. That sort of represents the new era, quote unquote, of the Survivor community.
Okay, I'm currently creating a boot list. Currently I have 16th Mia, 15th Baxi, 14th Wishboot, 13th Kane, 12th Yortiz, and 11th. I'm gonna go for 11th. I'm gonna go for
I see you already have your predictions.
yep, that quick. Finor. So,
Okay.
so yeah, those are my premier. Those two are the six I believe are going to get premiers. 16th Mia, 15th Baxi, 14th Wishboot, 13th Kane, 12th Yortiz, 11th Fedor. What do you think of that?
Um, I mean, I don't blame you because typically in recordeds you see the newer people who aren't as social, who aren't as active in the community, possibly having a hard time connecting with people. But what I will say is everyone this season was sort of in that position where they were branching out and trying something new. Even the people who were more experienced, like Justin or Pi, they haven't really played, or C Dude, they haven't really played in a while. And on top of that, like Pi, for example, or Spotters, aren't playing in a season where they have the big names from the community. They're playing with a bunch of new people. So I don't blame you having the people who aren't as active in the community as your early boots. But at the same time, I want you to take into consideration that everyone is in the scenario of they only know like two or three people and now they're forced to meet everyone and play the game of Survivor. And that's something we really wanted to capture. We want to capture that new feeling of a bunch of people meeting each other for the first time. So I won't comment if you're right or wrong, but just because just because this might be someone's first game show or like first appearance in the recorded scene doesn't mean they're gonna flop completely. I think everyone has a chance to integrate themselves within their own tribes.
All right. When and why did you decide to do this? Like, why did you decide to do a recorded?
Um, I don't know, cause I think I always wanted to host a recorded, cause funny enough, for a birthday party, I hosted a like Big Brother party, and I filmed it. I put it on my old YouTube channel, which I really hope no one finds, but it's too late for that. So when I joined the community in 2021, Uruguay with Drivy Ross was the first ever show I played in with you, ChillinCool. That was fun. Um,
Yeah, it was a good season.
yeah, I enjoyed it. It was despite the image Drivy has, I'm happy that he was sort of the gateway to here because I wish I joined sooner. This community, despite what people say, it's great. So what I think what inspired me most was like the recordeds I've seen and sort of my love for film, but also the sort of season theme. I just thought of it one day and I thought of the like potential of like, hold up, this could be a really good idea, getting a bunch of new people who've never done a record before. And because you've seen those seasons, you've seen the Minecraft survivors where it's a bunch of nobodies, which technically applies to it. But at the same time, those Survivor series, they aren't a part of the Minecraft Survivor community. So,
Big channel mods.
not Channel Muds. Channel Muds somewhat, but like I remember seeing a season like Einstein versus Entertainers, and I don't think anyone a part of that is in the Minecraft Survivor community. It was a Minecraft Survivor that had a bunch of new people, but we weren't inclined to watch it because we didn't know anyone or it didn't really represent the Minecraft Survivor community. So I think what motivated me to make the recording was seeing the potential of not only doing this theme, but sort of to give it to the community. I think is what really pushed me to like put it on drive to film the season and do production because I wanted to beat everyone to the punch. And I knew if I waited longer, some of the people who I thought would apply to the theme might not anymore. So yeah.
Seeing which, I actually found out that Generic and Galaxy Wolf are on his third season, which I don't think he's going to upload. He hasn't uploaded in 6 months.
Oh
The guy
dang.
who hosted Einstein's with Entertainers, like, yeah, Galaxy Wolf and Generic Reed, they all got on this. They both got on that season, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be uploaded.
Einstein
Unfortunately,
versus Entertainers.
no, that one's finished.
Okay.
Season 3 is called Leaders of the Fight.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. So yeah, do you have any other questions? Otherwise, I might head over to the chat.
Um, yeah, okay. I'm gonna tell you my finished boot list. My finished prediction boot list.
Okay,
16th Mia.
before you start it, before we hear Chillin' Cool's prediction, guys, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat down below. Or if you want to ask your question in person, I might drag you into the call to ask it. Okay. So with
Okay.
that, Chillin' Cool. After seeing the cast reveal, what is your prediction?
I believe Mia is the first boot. She is someone who's very clearly introverted and and isn't exactly very social. And Survivor's a social game, which is like I feel like I don't stand a chance, and I would like to be, and because of that reason, I don't feel like she stands much of a chance either.
Okay. If you want to read off the rest.
15th is Baxi. Okay, I noticed there were quite a few people on Tuning Season yesterday that actually played on your season. There were like Aries was there, White was there, um, Baxi and Mia were also there. All right. So 15th is Baxi. Like I don't know I just don't see much in him. Like I don't know what to say. I just don't see much in him. 14th Wish Butte. Wish Butte is Wishby, the only game show I've seen Wishby play, he's walked. And I still feel like there was not a very good guarantee that he'd do well. I mean, I could be Wishby is a pick that I am open to being completely wrong about. So like, yeah. 13th is Kane. Like in general, JoMaH, I'm not that certain that your IRL friends will do that well, but yeah, Kane I feel like he's gonna be the first of the four to go.
Okay.
Now I'm expecting a swap. Number 12 I feel is gonna be yours. Yours I feel like only survived. I've seen yours play in 2 of 2 seasons, and both times the only reason he got that far was because of memes. It was because of memes. Like I can tell that he's very passionate from what you said about him, but sometimes passion just isn't enough.
No, I understand that. Based off your like, we both had different knowledge, so I totally get it.
Okay.
Who do you have for 11th?
Fenor.
Okay. It's by the way,
you
Finola. Don't worry, a bunch of people had problems pronouncing her name.
Finola. Okay.
Yeah, it's like she's gonna hate me saying this. It's like granola, you know, like granola. Just replace gur with fun. Yeah, Finola.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did Fedora by mistake. I don't know what made me put that in.
No, you're good. Any thoughts on her?
Okay, you did say she was gonna be a big character. So, like you lumped her with Wyatt, Aries, and Sky, but I don't think that means she's gonna do she's gonna go that far. Like Fedora, I feel like is like might be an emotionally robbed pre-merger, like right before the merge, but who knows? Let me actually.
So how many pre-jurors was that?
6. And now at this point, I believe we're gonna be at the merge, and the merge route will be Wound Me. Wound Me, like with the merge, there's always a chance to like you always gotta find who you mesh well with, and Wound Me is someone who I don't think people are going to want to trust or keep as a number. So, and that's why Wound Me is there.
Okay.
I am predicting number 9 to be C Dude. C Dude, I haven't seen the guy play, but I do trust that he has experience. But I feel like that's where the time where the big players start going out. And that's where C Dude may falter. That's where like he might go out with the Islands podcast. If I don't know. From like saying C Dude and Idols, I think C Dude might go out with an idol.
Yeah,
it's a very pretty big wild card. I'm gonna predict that 8th place is Justin. Justin, I've seen him play a few times. He's usually like I'm mixed on him. Like he barely lost an FTC against Ken and Lewis, so I wouldn't put him in the top tier category. But most of this is just from experience. So
no, I get it.
Justin, I feel like would be a mid tier, but still a very experienced player that people are going to see as a threat and take out. And Justin is decent. Justin is decent at comps, so yeah, there's that.
And just I guess for anyone before we get we're halfway there. To my cast, he's not saying you guys are bad. This is just with the information he has. This is his educated guess. So with that, who do you have as 7th?
Why? What? Because like, why? Oh my goodness. He can be a very dangerous player if he tries, and I trust him to try to win this one. And that's where he becomes a big target. Like he's kind of like Marianne or sense. Like he's kind of like Marianne, someone who's like very out and about, very loud, but also has a dangerous mind. And that's where Wyatt goes. 6th, I'm predicting to be Chip. Chip is now it's time to stop going for the under the radar threats and see who might sneak the win from under everyone's noses. Chip, like I know that Final 6 is a weird time to do that, but like That was like Finals takes a weird time to go for the under the radar players, but I believe that's exactly what Chip is, and that means that Chip is going to get along well with everyone. Like from what I've seen of FIO season, I don't think that Chip is a complete goat. I don't think that Chip is a goat.
Okay.
But Chip is someone who I feel will get along. Everyone might sneak the win from everyone's noses.
Got it. Okay, so now I believe we're at final 5, right?
Yeah, which would kind of be the finale.
Okay. Let me get your finale picks.
All right, so our current final 5 in alphabetical order is BA, Aries, Matt, Sky, and Spoders.
Okay.
5th will be Matt. That's the last IRL friend, and I believe he's an IRL friend that is going to do. I believe that he's an IRL friend that has the best potential. I believe that he has the best potential of your IRL friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like they might. I feel like the other 4 are at least 3 of the other 4 are going to recognize that, or say like Spoders or BA plays an IRL or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Final 4?
All right. Yep. The final 4, the fallen angel, BA or Pi. This is the guy who's this is a guy who's like very well connected. He's the archetypal fallen angel. He's very good at challenges. He's very social. Like he knows what he's doing most of the time, and that's the type of person I feel is going to be the fallen angel.
Okay.
3rd place, the 0-1 vote finalist would be Sky. Like Sky said, he doesn't get along with anyone. That either means he gets pre-merge or is an NPC goat. He's also quite good at challenges, from what I noticed. I don't know how it's going to affect his game, but I don't think it's. I think his game is going to be very poor. Like he said, that he's not very well liked in real life, but I feel like that's going to translate here.
Okay. So your final 2, in addition to saying like what you think who's in what place, do you think it would be a close vote, or do you think this is going to be a blowout?
I think it's going to be like a 2-1 vote difference.
Okay.
I believe this is going to be a close vote. Like it could be a 4-2-1 or a 4-3-0. I don't know.
Okay. Who do you think is second place?
Actually, no. I'd rather say like who's going to win.
Okay.
Spoders will win.
That's your winner pick. Okay.
Yep. I know Spoders already won your I know that Spoders on record, yeah, and like why? And I feel like White could remedy that. Oh, White actually also got 7th in your on record. Crazy.
So you feel like lightning might strike twice?
Yes, because but the thing with Aries is that he's very out there. Aries is like insanely out there, and I feel like that's not going to be enough to get the jurors' votes. He's strategic, but I'm not seeing that much of a social mind from him, and that's why I feel like he's going to get second. Spoders, I feel is someone. Spoders is I can see as the mastermind behind the scenes mastermind, the man behind the man. And I feel like he might be the man behind the man with BA.
Okay. Well, with that, thank you. I didn't expect you to give a whole boot list, but I really like, I guess your sort of ChillinCool cast assessment.
Yes, Spoders is like someone who might get targeted very close to the end, but it's clear he has the game wrapped around his finger, and it's too late to take him out.
Got it. Okay. Well, with that, I think if you're okay with it, I'm gonna turn to the audience and ask if they have any audience questions. So yeah. In fact, I'm actually gonna get off Minecraft and we're gonna go to here. Let me deactivate that. Let me turn on my camera. There we go. And sweet. Okay, so now, if you guys want to log off Minecraft, you can. That's totally fine, chill. I think we're now going to head to the audience. So I already see there are some people in my waiting call. So we're going to, that's a bad idea. I'm going to not show my chat. We're going to start dragging people in and I guess sort of get their questions. So, I'll do Dell first. Hi,
Hey.
Dell.
Hey, guy.
What's your question, big boy?
Well, I have a question. Well, it's less of a question. I'm just gonna outright say I was on production. I helped with this, and I'm very proud to have helped with this because from what I could see, it was a really good season to film, and I had a lot of fun doing it. JoMaH, what I'm you is that I want you to tease something about the season without going into spoilers to get people excited. I'm gonna give you that. So go for it.
Got it. Okay. I don't know what you sent me. Should I worry about like privating
No,
my stream?
it was just in response to
okay.
to his so it's
ChillinCool's
spoilers. So
predictions.
don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So
okay, can you show me? Can you show me what Dell sent me after the season is over?
Yeah, I will show it to you. So my, I guess sort of a way to tease it is, back to what ChillinCool said. Your expectations will be defied. What you may think about having a season with new people is the gameplay. The gameplay you might view as boring. In my opinion, the gameplay was not boring. There were some very exciting tribals, some very exciting discussions throughout the game, and that's all I will say. That I don't want to go too much into like a certain elimination or a certain tribal, but your expectations are going to be defied. You may think that the season's going to be boring, but I really think, on top of my editing, that the gameplay and the characters that are on this season will be great entertainment for all of you. So with that,
I want a good season and a good FTC. Like a good FTC is one of my highest priorities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody will be disappointed unless they're a loser. Because genuinely speaking, from a production standpoint, it was amazing, and I think the players had a really fun time too, to my understanding.
Yeah, I think everyone had a fun time, and I will say, we've been jokingly talking about like in the future if we do like an all-star season. I think almost everyone said that like if they had the chance to like if they could get brought back, I think almost everyone said that they would want to do it again. And I think that's a great experience to sort of set, especially because a lot of people this is their first game show. I'm glad I could give a welcoming environment for them to, I guess, dive into this community. So yeah, with that, thank you, Dell. I'm gonna drag you out, and I think we're gonna bring.
Like,
I'm gonna drag those
honestly,
two guys out too.
I feel like what a part of the reason my expectations for the FTC are so high because like I mean I feel like it was LMP's Galapagos that had it so high. Yeah, I feel like it had like at two people who I could see winning at that FTC, and especially after a record that I was in, that I was there to witness an FTC, and I feel like that was one of the best FTC I could ever see.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
yeah.
That's
what I will say, I don't mind sharing this because it's not going to leak too much. But ChillinCool, some of your predictions are off. I'm sorry to say it, but some of your predictions are off, and that's what Dell said.
No, that's to be.
That's what Dell said. So all I'm going to say is, your expectations will be defied. This season, on paper, sounds like it shouldn't go well, but it went well, and it's a great season to watch.
I think it'll go well. I do believe that it will go well. I don't believe that like the game. I do believe that. I do believe some that some of the new people here are going to have some things to say.
Yeah. With that, I think we are going to drag. Let's drag Metal next. Metal, you there? Okay, Metal is not here. Let's try dragging Echo.
Echo.
Echo? Oh.
Have I been summoned?
Hey, Echo. Yes, you've been summoned. I saw your question in chat. I just didn't know if you want to ask it in person.
No. We're gonna screw that question. We're gonna do a different question. I have a different question for you, JoMaH. Okay, listen.
Okay.
My question to you is, you are a big fan of Survivor, and you watched a bunch of IRL Survivor seasons, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I would like you to personally compare this Minecraft Survivor season to a IRL season that you think it's suitable, and why. No spoiler and spoiler free.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's saying is like which which IRL season do you think your season is most like?
This is
Yes.
tough. I haven't seen like every single season, but I feel like this is. I jokingly said this that my community would be the blank of recorded Minecraft game shows, and I'm gonna go with Gabon. And I
I
know,
called it. I knew it. I
Yep,
just knew you
yep.
were gonna say Gabon. I just called it.
because Gabon in the Survivor community is very hit or miss with some people. Some people love it, and some people hate it,
Mhm.
based off the gameplay. And I think going into the season, some people are hyped for it, and some people are not hyped for it. So I think because my season has this interesting take and overall this sort of different concept, I think um, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, but overall, I feel like this recorded is going to be one for the books. I think ours is going to be sort of in that little special little corner. You know, when everyone's ranking the tier list for recordeds, there's going to be one at the bottom that just says frontier because I feel like this recorded is going to be a little special. So my answer is Gabon.
Right,
Okay.
like, a question. I have two questions. One is how many recordings have you seen?
Um, how many like Survivor recordeds or Minecraft recordeds?
Minecraft.
Um,
Minecraft
I've
Survivor
seen
recordings.
I've seen a good bunch. I've seen most of the Oxys, most of the Chris's, most of the Kyles.
Have you
I
seen
like
any of JP's?
I've seen JP's. I haven't like I'm not refreshed on all of them, but like I've seen everyone's like most recent season except for Oxy's. I have not finished that. So
Which is your favorite report that you've watched?
um I think my favorite one that I've watched, I'll go JP because sort
Yeah,
of
Mushroom Kingdom, of course. Like that. That's my favorite. That's my favorite of all
mhm.
time.
And when we were making this cast reveal, I sort of was taking some of that inspiration because in JP's sort of first few episodes, he does little like mini scenes about how people like
Yeah, I feel like he took that
tie
from the new era.
tie their job into the game. But like when I was making the cast reveal, I wanted to put something interesting on it, and I sort of took a little bit of inspiration from JP by building sets that correlate to people's jobs or their fake occupations that they want to go by.
Yeah, was that in the cast reveal? Was that you going up to them and handing them the invitation, like a Keo Big Brother, or is that just you
I
going up interviewing them at the job?
honestly, I'd say both. Honestly, I like the idea of it's me like sort of getting to know them and like getting to know them, and then like before I walk away, I'm like handing them the invitation. That's a
Yeah,
cool way to look at it.
like
So
Jeff flies out to your house, gives one
yeah.
final interview, and then he's like, "All right, you know what? You got the stuff, kid. Here's your torch, dude. I'll see you on this date."
Yeah, I like that idea. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, it's good seeing you again, Echo. I am gonna drag you out because I see other people in the chat have some questions. But thanks for tuning into not only this but to the cast reveal. It's very cool.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir. Did
thank
great.
you,
Good
and
stuff.
I'll talk to you later, Echo.
Yes, sir.
Right, by the way, I forgot what I was gonna say. What was your
Go,
biggest
Echo.
fear going into the season?
Good question. My biggest fear was the gameplay wasn't gonna deliver because it Channel Mud can be compared a little bit to my season, and we were joking around that we're gonna be the Channel Mud of like the big recordeds, because we were getting a bunch of because we were joking that like we're like the camera and like the construction, because you've seen some of the cinematic shots. Lewis and Tunic really went ham on like decorating, and shout out to them. I knew we would have the cinematic and like the good design, but like Channel Mud, they have great shots. But in like their cast and their gameplay, like you don't get a lot of good gameplay when you have like 4-person tribes. So we are joking around that we would have good editing and cinematic stuff, but the gameplay just wasn't going to deliver, and the characters are going to be boring. And looking back on post production, my expectations were defied. The gameplay and the characters were there, and overall, I think it made my job easier. I think as I start to edit the episodes, it will become I won't have to dig for good confessionals or good talk time, because I think we had a bunch of people who delivered. both gameplay
although-
and confessional.
Also, adding on that, what do you think of the new era of Survivor?
Like 41 or like Minecraft New Era?
The 41.
I don't know. I like it. I like sort of the new twists here and there. Overall, I don't mind it because the new era is sort of like what I've been watching now consistently. The one thing that I think recently, the like Survivor on paper is a game that can be played differently and different plays can be made. But of course, you're gonna have to add some stuff to spice up the game eventually. You know, I feel like Survivor right now, they're very advantage heavy and very new element era. When I feel like if they just kept some of these twists for a little bit, like instead of 2 seasons, like 3, they could use these advantages to their like potential. Like instead of like the risk your vote or protect your vote, they honestly could have done that for another season or something like that to where I feel like Survivor, the new era, is adding a bunch of new advantages, which some of them are great, but some of them are not, where sometimes less is more. To where sometimes just this one advantage or sometimes this one gimmick can be the thing about the season. Because, like, I feel like with adding more and more stuff, it's sort of rubbing people the wrong way. Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like all you need to do, like this season, for example, the idle cage and the visitation and the journey would have been enough. I don't think the tribe swap was necessary, and I feel like that's sort of what Survivor is running into. They're trying to find a balance of making their show entertaining and fresh, and they're sort of judging how much advantages do they need to pour in. And I feel like right now they're adding a little too much sugar.
Yeah, they completely don't care about adding too much sugar. Like they don't care about how much sugar they add, because like they Pro said he liked Advantage Get and that got Suri out.
Yeah, and I mean that's his opinion, and I'm not gonna go against it. Like I'm not saying like they're running the show into the ground because I'll still watch it on Wednesday, but
Yeah, same.
I just feel like they're doing too much because Survivor, yes, the gameplay is nice, but the characters too are great, and I feel like with this new era, they're changing so much stuff with it. Like for example, I feel like if one season they did like 2 tribes of 9, that would be fresh enough, you know? With these new era gimmicks, like it's just things like that where like they're in the mixing pot and they're adding too much of the same ingredient, in my opinion. But overall, I'm not opposed to the new era because I'll still watch it on Wednesday.
And you kind of answered my own question before I got to it. How do you feel about the constant 3 tribe division? Or the constant 3 small tribes?
I mean, it's nice because it adds a sort of different level of gameplay. But if the new era is complaining about it being the same old game, the reason they added 3 tribes was to freshen it up during like the dark ages, quote unquote. So I like the 3 tribes, but at the same time, what made Survivor so nice is how they could add so little, but the variability would change so much. And now,
do you think they'll ever do a traditional swap again?
I think, of course they will. Of course they will. I don't think they're gonna, because I don't think Survivor is dead set on doing 3 tribes. Because eventually, they're going to spice.
I think they are. I think they are because Probe said that he likes small tribe. Like small tribe is here to stay. Follow up. What do you think about the 26 days? Like before,
I don't
answer that one first. But before,
I know some people hate it, but I don't mind 26 days because to me it doesn't change. I don't think it changed, in my opinion. It doesn't change what the watching speed of it, but I think eventually they might go back to 2 tribes to spice it up.
All right.
But
drag the next person in, please.
Yeah, with that, we're gonna drag the next person in. I think we're gonna go with. I want to look at that duckweed thing. I think we're gonna go with. It's a funny GIF. Let's go with Metal and see if Metal's here. We'll give Metal another try. If he doesn't respond, We'll give him a little bit of a longer time. If he doesn't respond, then we're probably going to drag Ares or Hero. Yep, Metal's just not here. Okay. Let's drag Hero then. Hello? Hero, you there?
Hello.
Hey. I saw you waiting in my chat, so if you have any questions that you want to say, feel free to ask it now. I don't know if you said something in chat they want me to answer,
I
but
don't need to. I don't need to. Sorry.
okay. In that case, if you just want to say a few words about the season or what you think of it, feel free.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Die.
No. I'm passing the mic to you.
I do. I do. I do. Hello.
Yeah, all good. If you just have anything you want to say about the season, or like what's your opinion, the floor is yours. You're welcome to speak.
Well, I like the new era. The new players are great. I loved it. It did a history. I loved it. I love the new players. I don't mind win or lose. I love the new season. New season, new players. I love it. Heart to heart, man. I actually love it. I hope I
Sweet.
can see.
Okay.
So my,
Well, with that, thank you for sharing your 2 cents. It really means a lot.
I go. Yeah, I going to Echo Bar. I think go away later.
Okay, sweet. Short and sweet. I like that. Let's drag Aries because Aries is coming and going. Let's see if Aries. He says he has a non-spoiler question, but I'm very scared. Aries, how's it going, bro?
How's it going, brah? What's up? So I have a non-spoiler question. Is just about your philosophy and all that stuff. You know
All
how much
good.
I love philosophy, brah.
All
Like,
good. If you don't mind, try to direct it towards the frontier and not the new era. The new era, I guess, was just personal stuff. But ask your
all right.
question.
So when you're approaching building a season, right, about the advantages, you know how advantages in the IRL Survivor seasons, right? They're always about like, oh, who has this advantage, and they're just polluting the game with advantages. What is your philosophy when it comes to it? Because it seems as though nowadays players don't really shine. It's kind of a scavenger hunt. I'm kind of paraphrasing.
No, I get it. The new advantages like make the game fresh. So I think it's always good to concept and like do these new advantages. But at the same time, I feel like there's a time and place for each of them. I don't feel like they all need to be put there at the same time. Because the best thing about Survivor, in my opinion, is like Big Brother. There seems to be like a common strat that is like dominating the new seasons. Survivor, I wouldn't say so much because you've seen it. Like you've seen like, for example, Final 9 tribals or Final 8 tribals. We could go across and watch every Final 8 tribal, and it doesn't play out the exact same way. It plays out somewhat differently. So I feel like with the advantages, it makes the game fresh, gameplay wise and entertainment wise. But at the end of the day, Survivor is about its contestants, about its people, and that enough is going to give you a lot of variability. So,
All right.
in
I got
my
another
opinion,
question. Oh yeah, sorry.
advantages, all good, all good. I'll sum it up. In my opinion, advantages, they keep the game fresh, but if you add too much of them, it's gonna destroy it.
All right. And I have another question I want to ask you on top of that because you mentioned certain strategies, right?
Mhm.
In Minecraft Survivor, there are, I like to call social classes, right? You have the goat, you have someone who is the shepherd,
Yes,
or
yes.
you have, the intentional goat, someone who pretends to be a goat to get, leverage. What would you say is your favorite playstyle to watch?
Ooh, I'm actually unsure. Well, I
Can I
think
give you an
watch.
example?
Sure.
I love watching underdogs. I think it is obviously a lot of people love watching underdogs, right? But someone
Yeah.
being able to climb it out, right, and being like a hero of a sense, right? Not hero the person, but hero in the literal sense of like,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, oh
Like
my
it
god, like
goes with like what I've learned in film, like the hero's journey. I think underdogs are by far the most entertaining to watch because like they start out normally, then they have this like downward sort of like decline. They have to fight these challenges. Then they get friends, foes, they might lose someone, and it sort of gives them a character arc. The top dogs, although they're great players sometimes, it's very boring to watch them because they don't really have a lot of entertainment like challenging them. So I think my favorite play style to watch would be the underdogs or the intentional goats. A little bit because I try to play like that, or I used to try and play like that. But it's really nice like when someone like is realizing, oh, I'm a goat, but I'm intending to be a goat. And it's very nice when you see that goat, especially in like the mid portion of the game, sort of make that move and make that flip. Because if they do it at Final Four, yes, it's good, but at the same time, it's like, okay, they just win now. So,
I actually have to retract my statement. I think the best kind of player in my eyes is the intentional kingmaker, right? The players that know they have absolutely zero chance of winning and they direct like the season. So, for example, like Scoopin and Lisa, right? Both of them were not well. Spoilers for Survivor Philippines.
no, yeah, all
Um,
good. They
um,
At
basically,
Final Four,
you know,
they realized they were making the winner and not making a third finalist.
yeah, but even before that, like they could choose to stay with their original alliance, or they could stay, or they could,
Mhm.
deviate from that and then choose who eventually would go on to be the most successful. Unfortunately, they didn't end up getting the position they wanted.
Yeah.
It's sort of a, but that was an unintentional kingmaker. Intentional kingmakers understand they have zero chance to win, but they have the power to kind of, do what they want. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I really like that kind of
I
philosophy because
I
the most dangerous person is someone who has nothing left to lose, right?
Yeah, I
In
Like
like
that
that.
sense,
who would you say who'd you say are some intentional kingmakers, Aries?
I don't see them like that often because you have to be
Yeah,
aware.
because yeah, and then sorry to cut you off, but like in that mind, you wouldn't like direct the story to the kingmaker. You would direct the story to the underdog who was able to like influence the kingmaker on picking them. So, if the kingmaker got more attention in modern Survivor, I feel like it would be an interesting game style to watch. Sort of,
But I also think you don't want to be a kingmaker because
yeah,
kingmakers are
obviously.
political disappointments, right? Because if you don't win under any circumstance, you're not exactly like the survivor, end goal. Basically, you shouldn't want to be a kingmaker in any
Hmm.
sense of the word,
Yeah.
basically. But if you happen to find yourself in that position, like at that point, you have ultimate control, assuming, and you're assuming pretty good positional power. I don't know. It's just the way that people choose the scenarios that they want to go in the path that they want to do it. That's the type of stuff that I like to see. I like to see like moral conundrums, all that stuff.
Yeah, because
All right.
like obviously, like any season's gonna be more entertaining if there's a struggle of power instead of a domination. So, but I think with that, Aries, thank you very much for I guess your 2 cents, your input.
All right, bruh.
Um,
See you
I'm
later,
gonna
bruh.
drag you out, but I'll talk to you later, bruh.
Sorry, bruh.
All good, bruh. Next up, I'll drag Rondal because Rondal was next in the waiting room, and then I think we'll close out with spotters. So, hey Rondal, what's up?
What's up? Um, so my question was about like IRL friends because for me, I've had like some of my IRL friends like play in my survivors. I've had 5 of them, and none of them have ever made it past pre-jury. And um, that may be kind of my problem as well because like only 2 of them had actually watched Survivor before. So
Hmm.
in some ways, like that was a problem. But for me, like when I was like 4 IRL friends, that kind of like spooked me a little bit. Like, do you think like your IRL friends really like are acclimated to
Like
like
worthy of
the
playing?
game of
Like, do you?
Survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not
Um,
worthy, but like yeah,
like, do they have the knowledge to go into the game?
yeah.
Okay. I would say yes because like although some of the cast reveals said like some of them had like very little information. Um, After I sent the interviews and like you made the cast, I gave them a little playlist of Survivor knowledge to watch if they were really struggling.
Mm,
But I think what also I think another thing that I was more confident and had faith in them and putting on the cast and succeeding was the environment because nothing against you, but in unrecordeds, you don't take it as seriously. I mean, for example, tribe divisions. Instead of
right. No,
like you
100%.
don't pick your tribes. You do like shuffling, and like when I play unrecordeds, sometimes we all hate to say it, but pre-existing connections do matter. Like
Right.
at first tribal, if I want to stay in the game, I might not throw out Echo's name because I know Echo is socially integrated. I may throw out someone who is very
A
new and playing
hero.
their first game shown. Yeah. And I think that's what happens when a lot of first time people they get the short end of the stick because they don't have a reputation.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for them to get out of
That's
that,
fair.
especially with waiting room calls. Because when I first joined the community after Uruguay, when I first recorded, I didn't get into like I had to wait like in 3 waiting rooms before getting casted into something because nobody knew who I was. Um, and
No, that makes
then
sense.
so yeah, so I think one I sort of knew that they know of the show Survivor and they get sort of like the strategy go behind it, but they're in an environment where it's a recorded, so people are going to take it seriously. People are going to talk to everyone and try to get connected. But then on top of that, the environment was also a bunch of new people meeting each other for the first time. So the people who had more experience with unrecorded game shows that they had played before, you will like unrecordeds are like great practice, but at the same time, something that unrecordeds can't prepare you for is meeting new people, technically. Because in this season,
Yeah, I get what you
the
mean.
the big players, quote unquote, who are from the community, are meeting new people for the first time. So it's up to them to build those connections, just as much as it's up to the new people to build connections. So with that, I guess does that answer your question?
Yeah, I
All
think
good.
so.
So yeah.
Sounds
But with
good.
that, thank you for giving a question. That was actually a really good question. I
Yeah,
liked it. It sort of
thanks.
maybe had to sort of realize like what what gave me what gave me so much faith, and I think it was the season theme, and also I gave them
Yeah.
an environment that would allow them to thrive without getting like screwed immediately. So
Yeah.
with that, I'm gonna drag you up, but thank you very much.
Sounds
Rondell.
good.
All good. I'll talk to you later, man. Sweet. Okay. Last but certainly not least, um, Rainey's raising a hand in chat. I think we're gonna end it out with Spotters. He's the last person in the call. If he Spotters, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sweet.
My winner
So, yeah.
pick.
My
Yeah,
mic
Mr.
is a little
Mr.
bit-
Winnerpick. How does it feel to have the support of ChillinCool behind you? Not many people can say that.
I can't wait to. When is this season premiering?
Soon.
I can't wait to get out there soon and really and really now that I know that Chill and Cool supporting me, I know that I have to perform. So when this starts, I'm gonna be going all out. Thank you, Chill and Cool. Yeah. So my mic's a little shit right now. I'm at work. Don't
All
tell
good, all
anyone.
good.
Yeah. So uh so you mentioned that your expectations were defied in post production, but let's build a little bit more hype here. Heading out of the stream, this is my very first um, Swap Screwed podcast appearance. I know this is very historic for all
Welcome,
witnessing.
welcome. Yeah.
So how about during? We all know during production you liked what you saw, which is why you're giving it glowing reviews. How about pre-production? Is there anyone in the casting process that you were going into an interview thinking like, oh, I can't wait to cast this person, and then like it fell through? Or is there anyone in the interview process where you're like, I don't know why I'm even interviewing this guy, he's drawing dead, and then all of a sudden they like, I don't know, like come back from the grave or something, and
No,
then
yeah, I
make
get that.
a big impression.
So I think I'll start with I guess somebody who I guess fell through. I don't mean to put them on blast. Rondell. Rondell had a great application, but I think it's just the wrong time for the interview because he just seemed very out of it, very tired. And I get it because I think I had an interview for Oxy one time where I had to take it like in a private stall. Like I wasn't at home. Like I was like at school or something, or had some appointment. So it was the right person, wrong time. I think another person who we sort of had fall through that sucked was I'm not sure who it was, but there were a bunch of people who, when we were asking questions, were also trying to dig into them about their recorded history to see if they applied for the theme. So I think there were some people that after they said they've been in a recorded and it's been uploaded, we sort of had to break the news to like, listen, man, your app was so good, we want to give you an interview, but you don't apply for the season 1 theme right now, so expect season 2. Two people though that I will say that I had low expectations for, but then shot through the roof was Aries. Aries did not take his application very seriously, but because of the season theme and because he'd never been in a recorded before, he got put into the interview. Aries had, I think, one of the lowest application scores, but then he had one of the highest interview scores. And I think that's important. And I think that's like sort of the main reason why it's important to not only do these applications, but these interviews. Because if you don't know the person, you need to give them that chance to sort of see how they can, what they can share their story when they have a bunch of time to type it out, but also on the spot and in front of the camera, how they're going to be like that. And then the other person that I was very happy to be defied by was C-Dude, because based on his application, we thought he didn't apply to the theme. We thought that he already been in a recorded game show. And I was with Dell. Dell was watching it in the interview, and as I was asking him questions, I sort of like said like, wait a minute, so like, has your recording been uploaded or did it get canceled? And he said like, oh, it got canceled. And I'm like a light bulb went off. Like, oh my gosh, I can drag him from the season 2 pool to like the, if the season theme doesn't go out, to him being on, to he can actually be on the season theme. So I think those are two people who I was very defied by, and why I think, you know, if you do have the time and you have the theme, to don't take apps into consideration. Like Aries, for example. He applied to the theme, and that's why he got an interview, and now he's on the cast. So to answer it, yeah, those are two people that I was very happy to do an interview with, looking back on it. So yeah. With that, oh yeah, Wyatt also. Wyatt was also another person we were so hesitant on because well, I knew he could be a character and be great for the camera, but at the time of like building and trying to like film the season, Wyatt was in his troll era where he would not take things very seriously or possibly goat or throw for people. So we wanted to make sure that Wyatt would behave on the season, and we wanted to make sure that Wyatt would play to win. So Wyatt was someone that we were very hesitant on casting, just to make sure, because we wanted everyone to play to win and not play for second place. So that's someone that we were hesitant on just casting in general. But spoiler alert, Wyatt is playing to win. He's not playing for second place, just like everyone else. So yeah, with that, spotters, I think that's a great way to wrap things up. I'm gonna drag you out of the call, so thank you. And I think with that, Chill, we're done. That's pretty sweet. So thank you very much for helping me do this interview, and I'll try my best over spring break to not pump out, but like edit as many episodes as I can, to where if we can get sort of a schedule to where like every week or every other week, I can upload a video, or just have a video to where if like Echo's season or Chris's season, if like there's a drought, I can give the community some content. I would be happy to fill that role. But I think with that, our I guess it turned into a little bit of a podcast about the new era, but we're done. So some things you can expect for the Frontier is the cast assessment, where I will just give my opinion about how I thought they would do before the season started. And maybe the intro, maybe the Tribe Divisions. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on that because the marooning is pretty cool. But obviously the first episode after that, and I think the first episode is going to be very fun to watch as you get to meet all these people and just how my season will go. To wrap things up, thank you, ChillinCool. And I saw some questions in the chat about it. Season 2 applications. I already have a good pool of people that applied during season 1. But I think what I'm going to do after my first episode, I will open season 2 apps for 1 week. And if you really want to play, then put your heart put your soul into the application, and if you apply for the thing that we're going for, then chances are you're going to get a very nice interview. So with that, I'm JoMaH. Thank you for watching, ChillinCool. If you want to say anything to close off the episode.
All right. I honestly don't know what to say.
All good.
So yeah, give the new people a chance, everyone. And
Yeah,
that's what that should really do
give
to
this
how
season a
it is.
chance. Yeah, give the season a chance. Let your expectations be defied. That will be the slogan for the frontier. Defying your expectations. With that, join my Discord server so you get updates, or just subscribe to my YouTube channel to where you will get updates about cast assessment, little shorts about the people, and most importantly, the first episode. So with that, I'm JoMaH, and I will see you all next time. Later, guys.
Bye.
Everybody, drop your buffs. We are switching tribes.